Hi. In this video, I'm going to be talking about inner child work, which has been a very transformational tool that I've used throughout the past year as I've explored a lot of inner healing work and emotional work. And I wanted to share it with you today. So what is inner child work? Inner child work is basically going back to past moments in our childhood where maybe we experienced some kind of traumatic event and parenting ourselves through that moment now, right? So the reason why this is important to do is a lot of the time we learn trauma responses to these challenging experiences that play out in our lives in ways that maybe are not the most supportive to us and the lives that we want to live and the types of relationships that we want to have. So by going back and doing this parenting, we can heal these wounds so that we can really align with the lives that we truly want to live and create. So in this video, I'm going to share the 3 steps that I've used over and over again to do this inner child healing work. So the first step is to identify the emotion, the pattern that's not serving you in your life. It's usually something that's kind of recurring, that comes up a lot, maybe occupies a lot of mental real estate, and that you'd really like to dig deeper on and create some healing and resolution. So that's step 1. Step 2 is once you've identified this emotion, this trauma response, maybe it's also a feeling in your body. Like for me, I notice something that comes up a lot is like this tightness in my chest, like this feeling of tightness in my chest. And it's where I hold anxiety, or if I'm not like breathing enough, or I'm too in my mind, I'm not embodied, like I feel that tightness in my chest. And it's like almost like an alarm system to remind me to put my attention on the present and to do some more mindfulness work, right? So that looks different for everyone. Sometimes it could be like, pain in the body or numbness in the body, right? So you just want to look for these clues, like this curious observer, okay? So the second step is to recall. It could either be the first memory or a memory that really stands out in your mind. So the second step is to recall a memory where you remember feeling this way intensely, right? So maybe if the emotion is like anxiety, you remember a memory when you were like 7 years old where somebody did something to you or said something to you that made you feel that way, or that feeling in your body. So you remember that moment. Now this is really important. It's human nature to try to run from this memory, right? Because humans were motivated by gaining pleasure and running from pain. So we feel pain, we're like, I'm out of here. But for this exercise, what you want to do is tell yourself, hey, like, you're safe. You, the adult you, is here holding this healing container for yourself. And it's okay and it's safe to feel this feeling that you felt in that moment, because now your inner child isn't alone. Now you're here as the adult parent version of you to nurture and nourish this child when they didn't have that nourishment in the moment. And that leads us to the third step. So the third step is for you, the adult you, to have a dialogue with this inner child you, right? So, and if you do this in a very meditative way, and there's also some amazing online guided meditations that I would recommend you can find on YouTube. Also, you might receive downloads in this moment, right? Like spirit downloads from source of messages that you're kind of like, where is this coming from? And it's messages that maybe your higher self is providing for you, because again, it's not just you and it's not just the inner child you, but it's your higher self you is also here. And so you can also feel an additional layer of safety knowing that you're all being protected by your higher self, your guides, your ancestors. You can go on and on. The room can be full of spirits protecting you and creating safety. But in this third moment, this is where it's so key. This is where, you ask your inner child if he or she has something that, they want to share with you, something that they want to say about how they feel. Maybe they just want to be seen and heard and felt, acknowledged. And then you, as the adult you, get to come in and parent the inner child you and provide the inner child you with whatever nurturing nourishment that they need to hear, messages that they need to hear, right? And I don't want to fill your mind with all sorts of ideas, because this is really only something that like you are going to be channeling from your higher self. But just for example, it could be like, don't worry, it gets better, or don't worry, you're not alone. You know, this experience that's happening right now is going to catalyze you to do X, Y, and Z in the future. Or maybe it's something as simple as just giving them a hug, right? So that's where this really becomes kind of like a deeply inner spiritual work. You are your own guru, you are your own best expert. Only you know what message needs to be imparted in that moment. And when you feel that that message is complete and it feels right, if it feels right, you can embrace your inner child, give them a hug, let them know they're safe, and then you can, you know, continue on with your day. If you want to make this more of like a ritualistic practice, like I said, I really recommend doing this as a guided meditation. There's so many amazing ones out there. Maybe I'll make one day. Just planting that seed right there. But for in the meantime, you can use this tool, you can journal. I've actually done drawings of this exercise, you know, and it's a beautiful, beautiful opportunity for you to get in the driver's seat of your emotional well-being, because we've all had traumatic experiences and things happen to us in our lives, and we can't control those. But what we can do is be, you know, the mother or the father that we needed in that moment to ourselves, and recreate a new, healthier, safer neural pathway, and regulate our nervous systems more and more. And the more that we practice this, and the more that we, you know, create these new neural pathways, the more free that we'll get to be from these old wounds and these old triggers and these old traumas. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this practice is as transformational for you as it's been for me. If you do this exercise, I would love to hear your feedback. Feel free to post in the comments below of what your experience was, or how it helped, or if you experienced a transformation. And then of course, if you are not following me on Instagram yet, please feel free to go ahead and follow me there. My Instagram handle is just my first and last name, @Leah Vitale. And thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful day.